friends, welcome back to my channel. Not me knocking something over already. So today I'm coming at you with my September TBR. So this month I'm planning on joining one readathon that is month long and then a couple of book clubs. So I'm just going to be showing you guys the books that I'm planning on reading for September. I believe I have around 8 to 10 books, which is kind of ambitious, but yeah, I'm just going to go through all of the books. So first off, I'm going to go through the books that I'm planning on reading for book clubs. So the first one that I have is The Inheritance of Orquídea Divina by Zoraida Cordova, and this book we are reading for the Brujas and Books book club, which is a book club hosted by myself and Camila from Borrows and Books, which is a monthly LATINX book club, and we're going to be picking up books by LATINX authors every month. And this is the first book that we're reading. We're launching it in September. So if you're interested in reading this book or you're interested in the book club at all, you can join us. We have our Instagram, which is Brujas and Books, and we also have announcement videos up on our channels. So obviously this book is by a Latinx author, and it follows I believe it's like witches. I'm not too sure what the book's actually about, but it's like a family of Latinx women, and they kind of have powers, and they're kind of inherited powers, I guess, which is kind of why the word inheritance is on the cover. But that's all I know. I know that Zoraida Cordova has written witchy books in the past, but I've never read anything by Zoraida Cordova. So I'm super excited, and this is our September book club pick, so we hope that you can join us. And the next book that I'm reading for book club is Mexican Gothic by Silvia Moreno Garcia, and I'm going to be reading this for Jan Agaton's Full Moon book club. You guys know Jan. She's one of my closest friends here on BookTube, and this is her pick for September. All of her live shows are always on the full moon of the month, so this is her September book club pick. You can go follow Jan on Instagram and on YouTube so you can join this discussion. But all I know about this book is that it's set in the 1950s in Mexico, and it is a horror novel. I've heard mixed things about this book, but I feel like I'm really going to enjoy it only because of the representation in this book. Obviously is going to hit very close to home because I'm Hispanic, so I think I'm going to enjoy this, and I'm also really excited to read this in spooky season, so yeah. And the next book that I'm planning on reading, I don't have it physically with me. I think I'm going to be listening to this on audiobook, and that is Fortuna Sworn. And I totally forgot the name of the author, but this book is the pick for September and October for the FanRo book club, which is a fantasy romance book club, and that book club is run by Sahar, and I always forget her channel name, but I'll put it on the screen. I believe it's basically Bookish Reads, something like that. I could be completely making that up, I'm sorry, but this is her pick for September and October, and I'm super excited because I've been wanting to get back into fantasy, and because of the things that I like, I think that I like more fantasy romance. Like, my favorite fantasy series is ACOTAR, so that says a lot about me. So yeah, I'm really excited to join this book club and read this book in September/October. I'm hoping to get to it in September because October is going to be a very busy month with a lot of spooky books, so hopefully I get to this month. Okay, so the last 6 books are for a month-long readathon, which is hosted by Jessie from Bowties and Books, and I believe there are other hosts or co-hosts for this readathon, and it's Sci-Fi September, but I can't remember who the other hosts are. I'm so sorry, but I will link everybody that I've mentioned in this video down below in the description box. So like I said, the readathon is Sci-Fi September, so basically the whole point is to read sci-fi books in the month of September. There are some prompts because there is a bingo board, and I did look at the bingo board and, you know, followed the prompts, but I didn't like specifically try to make like a bingo or anything. I just picked books that are sci-fi because I've been wanting to get back into sci-fi. So yeah, here are the 6 books that I have planned on reading. The first one has been recommended to me a lot, and I think, no, the prompt that I chose for this one was the no space prompt. So a book that is sci-fi, but it's not set in space, and I believe that this is not, but I could be wrong. And that is Sleeping Giant by Sylvain Neuvel. I'm sorry. And this was recommended to me by Noelle from Noelle 7 Pages, and also Cami, my good friend here on BookTube from Borrows and Books. Do I know what this is about? No, I don't. I've heard something about a girl falling through the earth, and she falls on like this huge mechanical hand, and kinda, I guess the whole point is like society's trying to figure out like what this hand is and what it does and its purpose. And I guess this is told in interview format, so every chapter is like an interview with somebody else or someone new. I'm not sure, but it sounds super cool and I've heard great things, so I'm really excited to read it. Also, Rachel from Let Me in the Library talks very highly about this book, which is another reason why I wanted to pick this up. So the next book that I'm planning on reading for Sci-Fi September is Renegades by Marissa Meyer, and this one I picked up because of the popular slash hyped book prompt. So yeah, this is a very popular sci-fi YA series that I still haven't read, and I'm so surprised because I love Marissa Meyer. One of my all-time favorite series is The Lunar Chronicles by Marissa Meyer, and I've read other books like Heartless by her, and I really loved it. So I'm really excited to read this. Super popular and hyped in the booktube community. It is sci-fi, but I don't know much about it, so that's kind of how I want to go into it. So yeah, I don't know. They have like abilities and it's sci-fi. That's all I know. Sorry. The next book for Sci-Fi September that I want to read is Unwind by Neil Shusterman. Again, another author that I love. Neil Shusterman wrote one of my favorite series of all time, which is Scythe, which is a trilogy, so I guess one of my favorite trilogies of all time. But the Scythe arc, one of my faves. If you haven't read it, please do. It's a dystopian series, but that's another story. But this one is more sci-fi. I think it is a bit dystopian as well, but this has been explained to me a couple times. But basically I think this series is about these kids, and once they turn like a certain age, the government is like allowed to take these kids and take their organs, which basically means that they're dead, like they die, they don't have their organs, they can't live, so they're basically like running from the government. But I don't know, because I think like parents give like permission, and I think that if they let the government take their kids' organs, that means that they get money. But you know what, I don't know, so I'm gonna stop talking because I don't know what this book's about and I don't want to pitch it wrong, but I've heard great things. This is like a really popular series that has been out for a really long time. Like some of my friends that are not readers, this is one of their favorite series of all time. So I'm really excited to read it for Sci-Fi September. Another book that is sci-fi for Sci-Fi September is Warcross by Marie Lu. Again, I'm really excited to read this. I'm really looking forward to reading all of these sci-fi books. Like, I really want to get back into that genre. I feel like I really enjoyed it when I was younger. But this one, I believe, is more about like a video game type of book, and this really reminds me of Ready Player One by Ernest Cline. It's what it's giving me the vibes of, but like honestly, do I know? I think it's about this girl, and she's like a hacker, and I think that the government kind of hires her to hack the game that this government has. It's like a popular video game, and basically they want her to be like a spy on the inside and get people that kind of bet on this game illegally so she can like turn them in. I don't know if that makes any sense, but it is YA, sci-fi. I'm excited. I've never really read a book that is video game related, so I'm excited for this one. And this one I also picked up because it's really popular and hyped, and that was kind of one of the prompts for Sci-Fi September, so that's why I picked this up. The next book I don't own physically. I might do the audiobook or I might borrow it from the library. I'm not too sure yet, but this one I picked up because of the alien presence prompt, and that is Obsidian by Jennifer L. Armentrout. This book has been talked about on BookTube for a really long time. I think ever since I started watching BookTube, which was back in like 2012, 2013, I've heard of this book. like series for a really long time, and I know it's about a whole bunch of teenagers and like teen aliens, and I know it's kind of steamy, but I'm not too sure like the whole plot of the book.
But yeah, it, you know, I don't know, aliens, sexy aliens, I guess, it's what I've heard.
So I'm excited to read it. Obviously it's sci-fi because it has aliens in it. So yeah, excited to read this Jennifer Ellen Armentrout book. And the next one I also don't have physically. I did just request it from the library, and that is Clara and the Sun by Kazuo Ishiguro. And Kazuo Ishiguro wrote Never Let Me Go, which is a really popular book. And it also has a movie with like Keira Knightley and Carey Mulligan and Andrew Garfield, I believe. And I remember watching that movie and not knowing what the heck was going on. Like I have to rewatch it, because honestly to this day I don't know what the movie, like what it was about. I thought it was like a contemporary book, and when I was watching it, it was kind of sci-fi-ish, but to this day I still don't know what I watched. So I'd have to read it and watch it, I feel like. But anyway, that's my rant about Never Let Me Go. But this one I picked up because there's a prompt that you should read a book with a robot or AI presence, and this book has to deal with an AI or like a robot thing. I don't know, it reminds me of like Ex Machina, but like I don't know much about it besides the fact that it has like a robot or an AI type of thing. So I'm excited to read this. I do know that Kazuo Ishiguro like writes very, like, I don't know how to say this, like very smart books, I feel like, and I feel like I might be a little lost or like not really know what's going on, but I'm willing to try it. I feel like this is one of the more complex sci-fi books in this TBR for Sci-Fi September, along with Sleeping Giants. I'm kind of scared and intimidated by that book. But yeah. Alright, so that is my September TBR. I have 9 books in my TBR. I just counted. I have 9, and usually I put around 8 books on my TBR. Usually get to all of them, so I am hopeful. I will be vlogging most of my time reading all of these books, so you should see some reading vlogs later on my channel and see some of my thoughts, or hear some of my thoughts. That makes more sense. So yeah, that is my September TBR. Everyone will be linked down below. Everyone that I've mentioned in this video, any book clubs, anything that I've mentioned will be linked down below if you're interested in joining anything. But yeah, that's it. That's my TBR. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know what books you're reading in the month of September. Let me know if you're reading anything that I am. You can DM me on Instagram and we can do a buddy read. But that is it. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!